What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Vulkan, and we have some huge news for Tower of Fantasy. So, Vera 2.0 officially has a release date of October 20th. So, this is a little bit sooner than the original November 3rd kind of expectation that I had, or guess rather. And this kind of puts an interesting twist on the Cobalt banner, because the Cobalt banner is going live on October 6th, which means that the Cobalt banner, if it goes for 3 weeks, is going to run for an additional week while we have most likely Ruby coming first. I don't think we're gonna get Lynn first, but I think we'll get Ruby. So that's gonna be 2 fire units that are gonna be running on top of each other. Now, the thing is, with Cobalt, it looks like she is not coming with flame resonance, but honestly, I'm not entirely sure. There's leaks saying yes and leaks saying no. So if they do kind of overlap, then one of them's going to have the resonance. And if you want to build a fire team, there you go. But we need to talk about what 2.0 and what Vera means for the game. So one, a new world to explore. So if you're tired of seeing the current world and Artificial Island, you're going to have a whole new world to explore, big desert basically. You have a new capital city of Mioria. You have new characters to collect, finally including Lynn and Saki. Everyone has been really anxiously awaiting Lynn and Saki, both for Lynn and her flexibility to be on just about any team, and then Saki to kind of round out the whole Frost team to actually bring some true DPS to that squad. Now, there's also going to be more resources for free-to-play and Dolphin players to collect. That way you can spend more on banners and you don't have to go out and actually open your wallet to try to buy these characters or pull these characters. So, ton of stuff coming to the game, which is really cool. But we do still have some outstanding questions. Things like, will we get the same 2.0 launch bundles that the CN version got? Because they got care packages essentially when 2.0 launched, and that allowed them to pull on the banners that were available. And this was like a big kind of launch party. Will we get the same thing? People are kind of going back and forth saying yes and saying no, with a lot of people saying, hey, if they don't come out with the bundles, then I'm probably going to end up quitting because I'm not going to open my wallet and spend a ton just because we're the global version and not the CN version. Now, also, I'm not sure if you guys saw it or not, but they did confirm we will not be getting Mark and Buy. And because of that, we have some 2 pretty significant gaps in terms of the roster. So Buy brought a really powerful Volt Shatter DPS to the party, and Mark brought a physical tank to the party. And because those 2 are missing, we have some pretty big shoes to fill. And I mean, maybe, hopefully, we'll see another collaboration for the global version to replace these characters and these playstyles. But honestly, they have nothing to really reveal right now. They just said, we're not getting Mark, we're not getting Buy, but we're open to future collaborations. Now, the last question is, are they moving too quickly? And because of that, we won't have as many dark crystals to spend in order to pull on characters that we want. A lot of people think that, yes, we're moving far too quickly. We need to slow down a little bit and allow people to fully explore and unlock achievements and do all of these things to earn dark crystals. That way, we can actually pull on Lynn and pull on Saki or Ruby or whatever kind of team you're building. But because we're moving so fast, people are going to feel like they either need to quit because the game is too quick for them, or that they need to open their wallet to start spending in order to keep up with the rest of the community. Now, no one's going to keep up the whales because the whales are the whales, but for everybody else, it's kind of unfortunate. So hopefully we'll get that big kind of 2.0 launch bundle that'll help offset that a little bit. Now, if you are interested in knowing what you need to do to prepare for 2.0, I do have a guide out there that covers a lot of the ways you can make your resources stretch further into Vera. So outside of having that big 2.0 announcement, we also have some new data mine information from Sova on Twitter. Now, this is for all of the upcoming characters and Cobalt B. So Sova on Twitter dropped a spreadsheet and it's full of data mined character information. This contains info for Ruby, Lynn, Lyra, who is now called Celeste, by the way, or Celeste. We have Saki and we have Tian Lang, who is now called Sirius. So right now, there aren't any changes from the CN version that have been data mined. However, as that data mining continues, anything that's different will have an overseas tag applied to it. That way it'll call your attention. So if you would like to stay up to date on this info, you can find Sova's spreadsheet in the description below. As you go through and kind of keep checking on it, they do have a change log that'll show any changes, I'm assuming. We don't have any right now, but that's something to keep an eye on. And I love the way this is set up because it very easily makes it so anyone can come in and look at a character, especially one they're very interested in, and find all the information they need to know from the data mining. Now, we also have some new information on Cobalt B, and again, this is from Sova. So we're looking at some brand new data mined information for her. Now, there's some really big changes to her kit. So Cobalt got a really nice buff for her A1, which allows you to gain the bonus damage on normal attacks instead of only on her skill. So that's a big plus. You're going to be seeing that bonus damage a lot more often rather than waiting for the skill cooldown to kind of come up. Now, while the A1 is super nice, the A3 is definitely a letdown. Her Ion Scorch was nerfed from 90% to 40%, which is a big difference. And her A5 only adds to the problem. So at A5, her Ion Scorch damage is increased to 60%. This is a nerf from 140% on CN. So we're going from 140 to 60 for her A5. So again, that's just a huge damage nerf. Now her A6 pretty much unchanged, so you don't have to worry too much about that one. So she is losing quite a bit of damage on her 3 and 5 passives, but it is rumored that she is an S tier shatter unit now, which may explain some of these damage reductions. Now, either way, we actually need to see her in game and test before we can make any judgment calls. But right now on paper, it is looking like she took a step down from a already disappointing CN version. But not all is lost, okay? So just because Cobalt, the character and the weapon, isn't necessarily going to blow your socks off, Cobalt's matrices seem really nice. So her 2-piece is going to increase damage against any debuffed target, which is great. That counts towards burns, that counts towards volt, whatever. So any sort of debuff to that target is going to cause your damage to be increased. And then her 4-piece is going to restore 1 dodge attempt every 3 dodges. And your dodge attacks are also going to inflict burn. This is going to make life a little bit easier if you don't have Cobalt at an A6 to proc that burn on Barrage. But just like other SSR chips, getting these is going to be a tough challenge because you do have to pull them on the banner. You can't just go out and craft them or find them. So you really need to kind of pick. Do you want to go for the matrices or do you want to go for her on an A6? I'm not entirely sure what the best option is, but it's a decision that you'll have to make, especially if you want to try to pull for her character. So guys, that is everything that's sort of happened over the past week and up to last night with this brand new Vera 2.0 release date announcement, which I'm very excited for. But I want to hear from you guys. What do you think about all this? Do you think they're going too fast? Are you excited for the new characters, new continent, or are you just kind of done with Tower of Fantasy and you're ready to move on to the other things? So let me know in the comment section below. As always, thank you so much for watching. This has been Vulkan, and I'll talk to you guys next time.